All right, so my clock is showing 1 o'clock Eastern time where I am on the dot. So Austin, I think we're ready to get this going.
Awesome. Well, if you bear with me for one moment, I'm going to share my screen here so we can just jump right into it.
While he's doing that, just want to say hello. My name is Amy Green, and I'm with Austin here. We are members of the marketing team here at Cirrus Insight. We have been anticipating and waiting to be able to debut the functionality that we're going to be showing you today around team scheduling. So very exciting. If you haven't had a chance to see my chat message in Zoom, please take a moment to read through that. A couple of things. We are recording today's session and we love questions. So please locate the Q&A module of Zoom so that you can type those questions in. And with that, Austin, let me know when you're ready to kick things off.
Awesome. Can you see my screen okay?
Sure can.
All right. Well, I'm ready whenever you are.
All right, wonderful. Well, as I mentioned, for those of you who are just getting in today, we are excited to have you joining us for today's debut of the team scheduling functionality. Team scheduling allows you to share a combined team availability in one link. So for those of you who are familiar with our calendar scheduling functionality today in Cirrus Insight, this is going to be an extension of that. And so we look forward to showing that to you. As with a lot of the product webinars that we conduct here at Cirrus Insight, we do want to make all of our customers aware of our looking forward statement. We ask that you make buying decisions based on products that are generally available today. And some of the product demos, screens, and naming conventions that you see in our demo today may look or feel different when the product becomes generally available to customers. So we just want to make sure that you are aware of that as well. And so with that, a couple of housekeeping items before I turn it over to our today's presenter, Austin. We will be recording today's event. I know that's a common question that we have from the group, so I want to make sure everybody knows that they will receive a link to the recording via email. We try to get that out to all of our registrants within 24 hours or less of this live event, so everyone will receive that. We also encourage and love all of your questions throughout the presentation today. So I would love for everyone to take just a moment to locate the Q&A module, which is going to show up on my screen. It shows in the bottom toolbar of Zoom here, and we will be answering those questions live. I have a teammate, Vinny, who is on with us today, who's going to be helping to answer those questions. So you'll hear from either myself or Vinny to get those responses through. And some of those questions we will also attempt to answer live for the group as we go along today's session. So I think those are all the housekeeping items for today, Austin. We're ready to get started.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Amy. And like Amy said, my name is Austin. I am the product marketing manager here at Cirrus Insight. But today I want to paint a little story for you guys. I'm going to pretend to be an account executive. So as you see, that's my photo right there. And I'm setting up with a new customer. I just made a sale and it's great. Things are going well. But I have to tie in some other teammates into this meeting that I like to have with my customer before we can get them onboarded correctly. So I need my implementation project manager to jump on a call with me and communicate with that customer, as well as I need the CSM for that customer account to jump on that call as well. And traditionally, what that would look like is all of us would be sending emails back and forth until we can each find an appropriate time slot where all of us can meet on a call together. However, that has been the wrong way of doing things. Now with Cirrus Insight Team Scheduling, what I can do is I can share out a mutual availability link that showcases my schedule, my implementation product manager schedule, and my CSM manager schedule all in one link. And that link I'll send directly to my customer, and he or she will be able to click on whatever time slot availability works best for them. And then that meeting will get booked collectively on all calendars with an integrated Zoom or Microsoft Teams link. So with team scheduling, we'll be able to reduce that scheduling complexity. We'll be able to show the mutual availability of all the team members internally in one click. And as that's sent to that customer, then they can choose which time slot works for them, and it will all be a much faster booking process. You can book meetings up to 8 times faster on average. It has been 8 emails back and forth between team members and customers to get a meeting booked collectively, but now we can do it all in one single email. And so there'll be those no more back and forth emails. And one of the best features is one of these events, when it is created and when that calendar is set, then it will automatically create an event within your Salesforce. And I also want to touch on again, each of these meetings will auto integrate with Zoom and Microsoft Teams and create that Zoom or Microsoft Teams link within the calendar invitation on your calendar and on your customer's calendar. And Cirrus Insight also integrates with Gmail and Outlook. So now I want to showcase what this exactly looks like. So I'm going to switch over to this here mailbox where I have my Cirrus Insight sidebar loaded up right here on the side, and I'm inside my mailbox here. And so I'm going to show you how easy it is to set up a team scheduling link. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my calendar scheduling tab here within my headline bar. And then I'm going to jump down to one of my calendars. You see, I have my personal calendar here, but I also have this project implementation calendar. And that's the one I want to set up a team scheduling link under. So it's very simple. All I do is click this people icon, and I'm going to type in the team member names. So we're going to add Amy here. And then we're also going to add our also other team member, Sai. So now we have 2 team members within here. And a quick way to check is I can just click this get link button if I'd like to, but we're going to continue on with making sure this team scheduling gets set up smoothly. So we'll just call this the demo team alpha and go ahead and create that team schedule. And now we have our demo team alpha, the one we just created right here. And I can do a couple different things from this screen. I can either click this link and add it directly to my clipboard so I can paste it within a compose window and send that directly to my customer. I can also go through and select some time slot buttons if I'd like to, but I want to showcase what it looks like from the customer's point of view. So what I can do is I can go through 3 dots right here, click the view scheduling page. It will open up a new link here within my browser, and I will be able to click through and look at which time slots all 3 of us. So if we go over to the left side of the screen here and take a look, we have Austin Deering, that's me, Amy, and Sai, and we're able to see which open available time slots all 3 of us have available within our calendar. So if I go ahead and I click on Wednesday the 31st at, let's say, 9:30 a.m., I can then enter a name. So let's just say a customer's name is Sally, and we'll use her demo email here. Perfect. And another great feature here within team scheduling and calendar scheduling is we can add questions that we want to ask our customers before they book that meeting with us. So right now we just have a demo question. What is your favorite color? We're going to say blue because blue is a great color. And we can go ahead and click this schedule meeting right here. And when the schedule meeting gets clicked, we have a confirm window pop up. We have this cancel meeting if we schedule it by mistake. And if I click that, it'll take us back and we can select a new time slot. But let's jump over to my calendar here. And we scheduled it on Wednesday the 31st. And let's look at it from a day view here. So click Wednesday the 31st. Excellent. And if we look at 9:30 a.m. right here, that is the meeting that we set up. And it has Sally, our customer, Amy, and Sai. And of course, this is on my calendar, so it has me included on this as well. And if you see right here, it has that Zoom link that it auto-integrated into this calendar invite, so I do not need to manually input that link. Now I'm going to jump back over here to the presentation. And I'm going to leave it here and open it up to some questions. Do we have any Q&A within the chat that we'd like to get answered? And if so, then I'd be happy to take it from there.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Austin, for that great demonstration of how I can see mutual availability across multiple team members to share with my customers. I know I personally have been able to use this functionality already, and it's been great. So we do have a couple of questions here. So the first one that I'd like to share with the group is, can a team member decide if they want to be available for a team schedule?
That is a great question. You know what? Let me show you exactly what we can do to answer that. So if you or a team member does not want to be made available, or they want to decide which teams they'd like to be available on, we can go to our sidebar here, click this hamburger menu. Let's go down to settings. We're going to click sidebar settings. And right down here, we have team calendar options. Now within this options window, we have opt into team calendars, which mine is set to. We have opt out of team calendars. So when that's selected, your name will not appear when somebody types in your name to add you to a team calendar. Or we have request accept or decline email for team calendars. So what that looks like is if you have that enabled and somebody adds you to a team calendar, then Cirrus Insight will auto send you an email and you can either accept or decline that team calendar invitation. So great question. Thank you so much for asking that one.
Absolutely. Another question that we received here is there a limit to how many team members can be added to a team schedule?
Good question. Good question. So technically, the answer would be no. However, in best practice, we all do have busy schedules. So if I added more than, let's say, 3, 5 team members to a team calendar, then the schedules will get more and more convoluted on your calendar page. So it might be harder for a customer to find an available time slot, especially if you're booking a little bit longer meeting, like maybe 45 minutes or an hour, to find all those schedules to have that appropriate gap for a customer to book an available time slot. So best practice is maybe to keep it between that 2 and 4 mark, depending on your team's schedule and availability and what that looks like. But technically, no, there is no limit to how many members can be added to a team schedule.
Yeah, I can definitely see how it would help to keep the group relatively small for availability. So a lot of other great questions that we're getting here. So one question that we had is, can we copy another team member on the calendar invite instead of putting them in the actual team? So on the booking screen, when someone books the meeting with you, there is a possibility of adding additional invitees to that. And that would be one way that it could be copied to another individual's calendar, even without them being a part of that team. That is one option there. The other question that we have here is it possible to schedule internal meetings across calendars using this functionality? So certainly if you wanted to use this as a link to share out internally to have groups meeting and looking at mutual availability across your internal teams, that is certainly a possibility. You would just create the individuals that are in your team as Austin showed in the demo, and then share that link out to any of your internal coworkers that may need to book time with you. And let's see, the other question that we have here is, what plan will this be available on? So this is a functionality of our 22, or what we're calling our latest version of Cirrus Insight. And this particular functionality will be a part of our expert plan. So certainly talk with your rep and or we can get you some further information about that. Okay. So let's see what other questions we have here. One question that we have is, can you use the book meeting functionality with team scheduling?
That is also another great question. Let's go here and let me show you exactly what we can do. So we have, again, our demo team alpha. If we click our book meeting button right here, we can absolutely go through and select a book meeting time slot. And what that looks like is we can select 1, 2, 3, maybe even more, couple times at the end of the day. And we can go ahead and copy these times. And when I click a compose window and paste them in, we have these direct time slots within that compose window. So when I send that out to a customer, all they have to do is click that button and it'll bring them exactly to that scheduling page for that time and they just have to enter their information to confirm that meeting. So absolutely, you can use the book meeting feature with team scheduling. Great question.
Wonderful. All right. Appreciate all the questions that keep coming along here. Another question that we had is, does the meeting that gets booked work with the sync functionality to make sure that that calendar event is actually reflected on those records in Salesforce?
Yeah, absolutely it does.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys for all of the great questions. Look like we have a couple of folks on the call that use Google Meet. So thank you for that feedback. Currently the integrations support Microsoft Teams and Zoom, but love to hear what other conferencing gathering tools our customers are using today. That feedback is excellent. So thank you very much for making us aware of your use of that. We'll definitely take that feedback back to the team. Okay. So another question here is, how can we provide multiple options for the customer to select from? So I'll take the beginning of that question a little bit. So I think Austin may have shown you the book meeting functionality, which gives a select set of multiple times that the customer can choose from. But if they are on the full calendar view of that mutual availability, any of the open time slots, and they can even navigate to other weeks if they don't see something that's going to work well on their end. But this is how you can see, multiple options that the customer can then book from. Thank you very much for that question. Another great question is, when will this be available? So thank you very much for that question. So Austin, if you wouldn't mind sharing our interest form. So we are launching this product into customer beta. And so what that means is that we would love to have each and every one of you try this out for us, give us some feedback. We know that you're going to have awesome feedback because in past beta programs, you've given that to us and it's been so very helpful. And so this is an opportunity for you to provide early access to the team scheduling functionality, test it out, use it within your org, provide us with some questions and comments and feedback. If you're interested in doing that, we have a beta interest form that I believe Austin is working on popping into the chat for everyone. And from that, we can get the beta turned on for you for team scheduling. So we hope that all of you will take advantage of this opportunity. And we'd love to have all of you join in on that.
Just popped it in the chat there for everyone. It's the beta interest form. Feel free to click that link and fill it out if you'd like to be part of that beta test.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, the other awesome thing, if you are a Zoom or Microsoft Teams user, is being able to have this put in all the different separate conference links for each of those meetings individually. It's been an awesome addition to calendar scheduling in general, not just team scheduling. So if you're utilizing calendar scheduling today, that's a great new option coming your way as well.
We have another great question here. Yep. Yeah, on the Salesforce event sync. I do not have an example right now that I can showcase you from my Salesforce, but I can tell you exactly if you booked a meeting. So in that example I gave you, I was the account executive and I sent that meeting link from the team schedule that I created, then that event will go onto my Salesforce. So the person that initiates that team scheduling, it will be auto-synced to their Salesforce instance there. So great question. Thank you for that one.
Right. So thank you everybody for all of the wonderful questions that you had coming in. Keep them coming. We're going to stick around and answer any additional questions that customers may have from us. Just want to thank everybody for joining us today. We are recording, as I mentioned at the beginning, for anybody that may have stepped in a few minutes late. So we'll make sure that everybody gets a link to the recording. You will receive that via an email from us. And we strive to get that link in an email to all of the registrants within 24 hours or less of this live event. Another great question, can you schedule meetings for others and not include yourself? That's an interesting one.
Good
Not sure if
question.
I have tried that out before, but we can certainly look into that one further.
What we can do though is send out our colleagues calendar link, and then the recipient of that link could book on behalf of the colleague's calendar. So what I can do is grab her link and copy that and send that directly into an email as well. And then if I send this link out, it will be booked on behalf of my colleague's calendar.
Yeah, I do think right now when you're creating the team scheduling group, it does not give you an option to exclude yourself from that. But that is interesting feedback, and
Correct.
church colleague calendar is always a great option if there's only one other team member that you want to book on their behalf. But great feedback. Another question that we had here is, can you create a custom landing page that displays for a customer? So I'm going to answer that question in a couple of ways, actually. So one thing is when you're creating that team schedule, the link that you send out, there's a couple of things you can do with that. You can actually personalize the URL that displays. You can, on that scheduling page, if you wouldn't mind, Austin, navigating to the calendar scheduling, the page, you do have an opportunity, as you see here on Austin's example here, of branding and also personalizing this screen and what it looks like. So this Cirrus Insight logo could be your logo. You can actually put an image of yourself or have a team image that you want to include, and then put in a tagline. The other option that we have available is that we do have what we call our scheduling API. And the scheduling API is a way to actually be able to build our calendar scheduling capabilities into your business workflows. So example of that might be if you have a customer portal that customers log into and they're able to see a calendar availability actually within that portal and on the screen dynamically. So if that's something that customers are interested in, we can certainly try to help work with you to get those business processes incorporated into your scheduling. Great questions there. We have a couple of customers that are actually new to the calendar scheduling functionality of Cirrus Insight altogether. And there are some great resources. Maybe in the follow-up email that we send, we'll link to a few of those on how to get started using calendar scheduling. But if you are a sidebar user today and your plan includes the calendar scheduling functionality, you will see the calendar icon within the menu of your sidebar, which Austin is hovering over here. And you can start creating calendar views and meeting types and sharing out those links with the calendar scheduling capability that exists in the Cirrus Insight sidebar today.
Yeah, Austin,
so definitely check that out if you haven't checked it out yet. It's a great resource to be able to provide.
Hey, Austin, do you mind showing how somebody can use the book meeting feature as well with the Teams integrate or the team scheduling as well?
Absolutely. So if we jump over to that team schedule that we created during this demo as the demo team alpha, we're going to click this book meeting button. And then what we can do is select which time slots work for us to send to our customers. So say we select 9 a.m., we can select 10:30, we can select 12:30 and 4:30, and we can select time slots between 3 days and 3 time slots on each day. We can go ahead and click copy. And when we compose that window for our customer, all we have to do is paste it in. And we have these direct clickable buttons that our customer will be able to click. And we also have the see full calendar option if none of these times work directly for them. So that is the book meeting, and these are all available between that mutual availability of the team members, Amy, Sai, and of course, me sending this email out to the customer.
Another question that we had here, what if we have a user that is currently not on Cirrus today and wants to be included on a team? They will be required to have a user allocated to them of Cirrus Insight to be able to be included as a team member. Awesome questions. Keep them coming. I see we've got a few customers here that they're hanging on with us. We appreciate you continuing to be with us this afternoon. Please feel free to keep bringing those questions in. We'd love to get those answered for you.
Amy, do you want to touch on, there's a few legacy CI19 customers who are on the call, and they're wondering whether or not this feature is available for CI19. I did sort of share that this is a feature that's only available on the latest version of the Cirrus Insight application, but do you want to touch a little bit on how they might get in touch with us if they would like to test it out in beta? Should they just fill out the same beta testing form?
Great question. So I've actually chatted in a URL link in the chat to everyone. Austin, if you wouldn't mind clicking on that and opening that for everyone, that would be very helpful. So we have an upgrade page here that has a lot of great resources for any current 19 customer that's looking to upgrade to the latest version. And in order to initiate the process, on the top of this page, you see that there is a start a live chat button. That will be your best way to get started. So if you are interested in seeing what that process looks like, or if you have questions about upgrading, please start a live chat with our team. They are ready to answer those questions for you. Also, this page contains a number of other resources that you can look at, and including, some of the additional functionality that you'll gain in the upgrade process. And then also, depending on whether you are Outlook or if you are 2019 an Outlook customer, or maybe you're on a legacy plan of what was formerly known as Zenbit, we have some resources and recorded videos here that you can access as well. And there are also some important dates that we asked customers to pay special attention to. And I know today we weren't able to touch on every piece of functionality available in the latest version of Cirrus Insight. So if you have interest and you just want to see sort of an overview of what the latest version looks like, there is a video here at the bottom of the page that Austin is now navigated to. And this is a great overview of the sidebar functionality that you can take a look at. In the future, we are looking at hosting some additional office hour sessions for 19 customers to dig deeper, not only with the sidebar, but some of our dashboard capability, which is very comprehensive in the latest version of Cirrus Insight. So we'll be sending out some dates and times and invites for customers to join in and attend that. And I definitely encourage you to do so. If there's anything you want to add on there, Vinny, but please feel free to start that live chat with the team and they can help get you started. Yeah, so we also have a question here. An organization is currently not using calendar scheduling with Cirrus Insight. We can certainly help to get you started in that process. So depending on if you have that functionality turned on for your org already today, you can go ahead and access that and set it up via the sidebar. All the user has to do is navigate, or you can, as an admin, go into the dashboard, and there are some things that can be done at the admin level as well. But what I will do is pop in some resources here that I would recommend that will help to get you started. So this is an article that I'm going to post into the chat. If you are looking to get started with calendar scheduling and you're not using it today, this is a great place to get you started so that you can start to take advantage of the functionality that's available today and also into the future.
Hey, Amy, I think I may have provided some incorrect information. I'm going to go ahead and try to correct it in the chat here. But can you just once again repeat to whom team scheduling or which plans team scheduling be available for?
Absolutely. So Austin, if you wouldn't mind actually navigating to the pricing page on the website, I'd be happy to share that. This is readily available on the site today. So I encourage everyone to visit this page if you have questions about our pricing plans. However, as you see here, the team scheduling capabilities are coming soon as a part of our expert plan currently.
Okay, that's what I thought. Actually, I just want to make sure I wasn't incorrect in thinking that. So thank you.
Absolutely. Sure. While Austin's on this page, I'll also call attention to the fact that we actually have a current incentive going on for those of you who are familiar with the recent functionality that we did a previous webinar on back earlier in the summer on email blast. We have a promotion going on for that. So you can simply fill out this form that Austin has shown you here. So if you're interested in that, feel free to submit your interest form and we can talk.
Awesome.
Another great question, how do we find out which plan we currently have? So a couple of different ways you can do that. And Vinny, I might let you chime in here. I think that you can see it via the dashboard if you're an admin on the account. So you can go to home.cirrusinsight.com and navigate to see the plan that you have today. Is that correct?
That is correct. Right under license and checkout there on the right-hand column.
Awesome. Awesome. So if you are an admin, you can navigate there to see that. If for some reason you're not seeing it, go to cirrusinsight.com, start a chat with us, and we'll be glad to look that information up for you and provide it to you. Another question we have here is for team scheduling, are you able to enable this for a select number of users, or does it, is it an all or nothing type of approach? So in the dashboard there, I believe there is a toggle to turn on or turn off the team scheduling capability. And I know that users individually can make themselves available or not available for team schedules. But Vinny, do you know if we're able to actually select a group of users to enable team scheduling for?
No, so you're right. So it is a on or off for the entire org. However, to your point, as an individual, and I think Austin was showing that earlier, but while that's pulling up, Austin, if you go to your sidebar and go to your sidebar settings in the, there you go. Down at the bottom, once it is turned on, every individual can choose whether or not they would like to allow other individuals to create team calendars with them. So as an individual here, Austin can say, yes, I'd like to opt into team calendar. So allow other people like Vinny or Amy to go ahead and create a team calendar like you just saw Austin do. Or I can opt out of it completely, which says don't include me. Or the third option is the request request an email each time somebody creates a team calendar. So if Austin were to create a team calendar, if I had it turned on, for example, and I turned on to notify me or ask for my permission. Basically, if Austin were to go ahead and create a team calendar with me listed in there, I would get an email that says, "Hey, Austin's trying to create a team calendar with you. Should we allow, or do you want to allow that?" And I can accept or decline it. And if I accept it, then it'll be included. If I decline, the link will still work, but it won't show me or show my availability as part of that.
And once it is turned on at the org level, correct me if I'm wrong here, everyone is opted into that by default. So the user would have to go in and modify that.
Correct. Currently, the default behavior as we have it set in for beta would be it defaults opt-in to team calendars for everyone. However, we are looking into the idea of creating that a drop-down selection for the admin to go ahead and set the default or change the default behavior for the organization. So if the organization wanted to default, have it opted out and have individuals go in and manually opt in, you could potentially do it that way. But for beta, it is only available for opt-in to team calendars for the entire org. Now, of course, individuals can go in and change that, but the default is, as I said, to opt into team calendars.
Great questions. All right, well, we can hang back for a few more minutes. If there are other questions, we'll be happy to answer those. This time is allotted for you, so feel free to type those in. If not, we'll start to wind down our session for today so that we can make sure everybody gets the link to the recording. I want to thank all of you for joining. For those of you that are still with us, appreciate your time. We hope that you are excited about the new functionality coming out, and we hope that you will take advantage of the beta program as well. Just a recap in terms of when this will be available. So we don't have an actual date set for when we will generally be releasing this to all customers. But as I mentioned, our beta program is now live and the interest form is popped into the chat there. So we encourage any customers that are looking to go ahead and start trying this out to fill out the beta interest form, and we will get you into that program. But we will be sending out future communications when it does become generally available, once customers have been able to be a part of the beta program, and we're ready to send it out to all customers. We do have a question here about the beta link, making sure that everybody has that. I will share that one more time here with the group. Let's see. For some reason I can't click on that link. Do you mind sharing the beta interest form link one more time for us, Austin?
Yep, just got it shared there.
Awesome. All right, so hopefully everyone can see that form link there. All right, well, I think that if there are no other questions coming through here, I think we can close out today's session. Again, thank each of you for joining us today. We hope that you'll continue to participate in these events and look out for further communications on when this becomes available. We hope all of you will participate in the beta with us. Thanks, Austin, for the great demo. Thanks, Benny, for support on the questions. And we hope to see you all soon.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.